Am I the a-hole for telling my 28F ex-best friend that she's lying about carrying my boyfriend's child and saying she's delusional? Hi. English isn't the best for me, it's not my first language, so please bear with me. This is also a new account, my friends know my main account. To make things easier, we'll give everyone fake names. My boyfriend, Jake, 28M, ex-best friend, Sarah, 28F. For starters, Jake and I are still together. He never cheated on me, instead, my deluded ex-best friend Sarah is convinced she's carrying his child. Jake and I have been together for 3 years now, but have known each other since college. Sarah and I have known each other since grade school, went through high school together and even got into the same college, which is where we both met Jake. Sarah liked Jake first, but he never showed any interest in her, but he was still civil and even developed a friendship with the both of us. He introduced us to his friend group and we all got along. Fast forward a few years and Jake confessed that he's attracted to me and that he had liked me for a while. He asked me out on a date, and I accepted. We began dating a few weeks after that. I never told Sarah about it yet, I was afraid she'd flip out and possibly end our friendship. Only when him and I began dating, we decided to tell Sarah and the rest of our friend group. Obviously, she wasn't too pleased, but she told me she was okay with it. Oddly enough, she kept trying to make a move on Jake, despite him and I being in a relationship. He'd always reject her advances, decline her random calls in the middle of the night and reject her offers to go out somewhere without me. Both Jake and I found this weird, and when I confronted her, she told me it was because she got closer to Jake and wants to be best friends with him just like her and I were. I tried to ignore all the red flags, but last week was number 491 for me. Sarah sent me a photo of 2 positive pregnancy tests around 8 p.m. I congratulated her and asked her who the father was because she isn't in a relationship. She told me the baby belonged to Jake. I paused and felt my heart skip a beat, but remembered that Jake and I hadn't seen Sarah in 2 months since we were visiting his family in another state and also preparing to move to his home state. I told her that it would be impossible for that to happen and explained why, but she was adamant that the child was his. I asked for proof, and after 10 minutes, she came back with screenshots of texts that were allegedly between my boyfriend and her talking about them having an affair and sleeping with one another. I almost laughed looking at the pictures, despite her intelligence when it comes to graphic design. She forgot to change the phone number to make it more believable. I messaged her and told her that I was tired of her antics, and that I'd be blocking her soon after telling Jake about what she did. She said it was true and even told me that I'm being a bad girlfriend for not pleasing my man enough. I got pissed and told her that she needed psychological help for lying about something like this, and that she's delusional and had an unhealthy obsession with a man in a relationship. She told our mutual friends, and eventually Jake found out. Jake is just as disturbed and is 100% on my side. However, our friends are torn, some of them took my side, but others say that I was an a-hole and maybe for taking my cheating boyfriend's side, and for calling Sarah crazy and delusional in her time of need. I've thought about it over the past few days and still think I am not in the wrong. However, I spoke to my sister and she feels as if I shouldn't have said what I said to Sarah. So, am I in the wrong here? Edit. For people who are asking why I didn't just prove to everyone else that Sarah is clearly lying by showing them the screenshots. First of all, Sarah chose to involve our friends into this. Jake and I might lose a few friends, but I do not mind. I'm not a fan of big friend groups and neither is Jake. Nothing has gotten too out of hand. If I feel things have gone overboard aside from her pregnancy claim, I'll take initiative and tell the truth to everyone. But not before we request a DNA test and paternity test from Sarah. Some comments suggested that I do suggest a paternity test and see her reaction to truly know if she is lying or not. I know she is. If she chooses to make up a whole story about how it happened, she'd have to make it believable and Oscar-worthy because I have way too much evidence, Instagram posts, texts, her screenshots and photo timestamps to disprove all her claims.